So, hey YouTube, I'm doing the Celtic Cross. And the first card is the Four of Pentacles. Holding on to what you got, what you worked for. Being a little on your own, keeping your distance from the profane world. Concentrating on yourself. And there's a energy of going somewhere. So you're counting your blessings and you're about to go somewhere, do something new. Let's just see where this is going. Okay. There's give and take, Six of Pentacles at the foundation. So you either received a lot or you have given a lot. And now it's kind of payback, you know, whatever, if you gave a lot, you're going to receive. If you received a lot, you should give something. So there's the scale, there's the balance, right? And there's the new consciousness. Shows up a lot, shows up a lot. Ace of Swords at the crown. In the recent past, the Emperor. That's interesting. Emperor to the to the King, to the Four of Pentacles, to the King of Cups. So you're turning from the Emperor, which is the boss, you know, which is all four kings rolled into one. This is the alpha, so to speak, right? So he's telling everybody what to do. And in the worst sense, he could be a tyrant. In the best sense, he could be a just emperor, right? But very stern, you know, he's wearing armor. He's sitting basically on the mountaintop, you know, there's no vegetation in the background, just blank rocks, right? And he doesn't look super happy. He's the emperor, right? But it's super alone and lonely at the very, very top, you know. He's above the kings, basically, right? So you're turning from the Emperor to the King of Cups. King of Cups, total different story. He's not on the mountaintop like the Emperor. The King of Cups is at the sea, right? He has connection to water. There are ships in the background. And he's completely in charge and in rulership of his emotion, his heart space. So you have achieved some sort of mastery, right? But kind of lonely mastery. So not very happy, maybe very powerful, maybe super career, but you're not happy. Have you been happy in that? Whatever it is that you have achieved, you know, could be job-wise, could be, you know, whatever. And you are realizing, okay, something is missing. So this is the Four of Pentacles. That's the center of your Celtic Cross. You got four of these pentacles, and these pentacles are representing the chakra system in the body. So you got the crown chakra, you got the heart chakra, right? You got the sacral and the root chakra, right? The lowest. Solar plexus is missing, and throat chakra is missing. And what else is missing? Third eye is missing. So you are realizing, I have mastered something. But if I stay there, I'm not going to learn something new. So you're realizing, okay, I've got all that, and you hang on to it. You know, you don't need to give it away, right? You don't need to lose it in order to add something new to it. And this adding something new to it is kind of the new consciousness, you know? This Emperor thinks he knows everything, he's complete. The Four of Pentacles realizes, oh, okay, something is missing, and I'm willing to get that, right? I'm willing to, sorry, that's the Page of Wands. I'm willing to get there I'm willing to complete myself. I'm willing to learn new things. And you're about to learn new things. And just by realizing that, you kind of turn into the King of Cups and gain a new consciousness. So there's Swords energy and Cups energy. Beautiful. So very balanced and very reasonable and very... It's a good news, actually. There's the Strength card. Whatever you do, don't rush it, right? The Strength card, this lady here is taming the lion. She's not wrestling the lion, she's taming the lion. So don't fight anything, don't allow. That's the fire energy. This lion represents fire energy. Don't get carried away with your passion. You can be passionate about stuff, but not so much that you suffer for it. That's something I hear a lot lately from my subconsciousness or whatever. So there's the Four of Cups in your surroundings. Maybe you're not at the right place. Maybe you're rejecting something in your outside world. There's the Judgment card, so a big awakening. And wonderful King of Wands. And bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups again. Cups energy. King of Wands. So mastering your willpower, mastering your passion, taking a step back from this idea, oh, I know it all, and the willingness, that's the new consciousness here, the willingness to learn something new. And you've learned a lot. You mastered something, and now you're going down from that mountaintop, you know, and you learn something new. But you go there not as the Fool card, right? You're going there as both the King of Cups and the King of Wands. So these are fire and water, right? Two opposite aspects. You've mastered them, right? And you are remembering that you've mastered them, and you're willing to learn something new. What that is, I don't know. It has something to do, there's the Page of Cups. Yeah, I mean, the Knight of Cups, sorry. Knight of Cups is kind of a spiritual journey, you know? Just completing yourself, learning new things about yourself. Okay, there's the... I picked the card, right? And there is the... I don't know if you see this. There's the Emperor again. And that's the first clarifier for the Four of Pentacles from the Emperor. That's justice. So you owe it to yourself to not stagnate, to not stay where you are and learn something new. There's the Wheel of Fortune. Justice and the Wheel of Fortune? Are you kidding me? So this is really not just in the sense that you deserve this and you owe it to yourself, but yeah, bring back joy and happiness maybe in your life. Maybe that is missing. There's the King, there's the Ten of Pentacles, and that's clarifying the foundation. So you're getting something. You're getting some sort of reward, or you're giving yourself some sort of reward. And this is the grumpy old Emperor on top of the mountain, right? With all these rocks around him, no vegetation, no trees, no plants, nothing. And then you realize with the Four of Pentacles, okay, I deserve more. There should be more. There should be, where's my cups? Where's my wands energy, fire, water? Where's the joy? Where's the passion, right? And you realize, okay, there needs to be joy and passion in my life because I don't want to be a grumpy old emperor. all the time for my rest of my life. The grumpy old emperor is clarified by the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is not wearing a crown, not sitting on a throne, but he's happy. Cups energy, feelings, right? He's not grumpy sitting on that super throne. No, he's happy on his little wooden bench, right? And he has his talents. These are the 9 cups. And yeah, joy, happiness, contentment, right? Being enough, this feeling of, yeah, it's good, it's just good as it is, right? And that's all about joy and happiness. You're going to be the King of Cups very soon. Happy, joyful, in control of your emotions. 2 cards came out. Okay, let's just... the Devil and the King of Swords. Should we have taken them? The Devil and the King of Swords clarifying the Ace of Swords. So maybe you were dealing with... Can I get those again? No. Okay, I find them. Yeah. There was a tickling in my nose, so I almost had to sneeze. And that was telling me that these 2 cards were at the right place. So yeah, the Queen of Wands also. Okay, let's just... There's the Devil and there's the King of Swords. Okay, universe. The King of the Devil and the King of Swords are clarifying the crown of your reading, which is the new consciousness, which is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is... yeah, you had to... I would almost connect this devilish energy to the Emperor, and that King of Swords would be connecting to the King of to the King of Cups. So you can rely on your reason, but if you only rely on reason, then it's one-sided, and one-sidedness is always the devil's game, right? And even if you want to do... the Emperor is... as I said, the Emperor is doing everything himself. He wants to do everything on himself, by himself. That's kind of hyper-independence, but hyper-independence can be the result of traumatization, right? If you're traumatized, if you went through narcissistic abuse, for example, if you went to deep betrayal, right? There's the Ace of Cups clarifying. It's getting really interesting here. The Ace of Cups clarifying the Strength card. And now you got 2 aces and 2 aces, 3 kings, and the Emperor. So heavy, and Justice and Wheel of Fortune. 10 of Pentacles, by the way. So you're getting something. You deserve something. You're getting something. 10 of Pentacles. Maybe you have given a lot and now it's time to receive. The 4 of Cups is clarified by the 4 of Cups. So are you rejecting happiness in your surroundings? Is there something in your surroundings you could actually be happy about, and maybe some opportunities you could take, but you're totally rejecting them? Is that the case? I don't know. Ask yourself. Justice clarified by the Tower, which makes sense a lot. There's a crown on top of this Tower, right? And the Tower represents to me the Emperor in your past, right? I have to do everything on my own. I'm hyper independent and I don't need anybody, blah, blah. And I'm super concentrated and focused on something, you know, Emperor energy, very stone and, you know, made of stone and, you know, not very joyful, not very King of Cups, not very King of Wands energy. Certainly not Ace of Cups. You owe it to yourself to get out of this hyper independence. Let's just call it that. And you're waking up to the fact that in your life there should be a little more cups energy, a little more passion, a little more cups energy, joy and happiness. That is what is. Okay, let's just take this one. Yeah, five of cups, clarifying the king of wands. 5 of cups, clarifying the king of wands. So yeah, you owe it to yourself. It's time, it's time, it's time. 5 of wands at the clarifier deck. So it looks pretty good. You're waking up to this. Yeah, you've been through something. And I feel like you mastered something in the top all by yourself, you know? And you had to fight so hard, and you actually won, you know, making yourself the emperor, super self-sufficient, almost too self-sufficient maybe. Hyper-independence is the result of traumatization. A new earth, nice. Number 19, that's the oracle card. Yeah. Joy over passion. That's the strength card. Be open for sorry. Good stuff in your surroundings. Transformation. This card heralds the state of a positive transformation, to which a part of you or a situation that troubles you is cleansed and healed. There's a renewed sense of optimism. The future seems bright as you try new things and make acquaintances and friends. Acquaintances and friends. Have you been rejecting acquaintances and friends? That's the outside position, the outside world, basically 2 times the 4 of cups, clarifying the 4 of cups, you know. Too much in the emperor mode, too much in hyper independence, right? There's a lack of joy and happiness and passion. Not so much passion that you burn yourself, but the main focus on self-love, you know, and a good balance between joy and passion. You don't have to do it all by yourself. The future seems bright as you try new things. You try new things and make acquaintances and friends. This is a time to keep focused on what is occurring now. The past is behind you, bless it and let it go. The present is all that matters. Watch for any lingering guilt and don't overanalyze things, especially not the past. Know that you deserve happiness. Know that you deserve happiness, and it can only be found in the present. Embrace your new life. You have nothing to lose but much to gain. That you are eternally loved is the eternal truth. All else is an illusion. Feel the love within and around you at each new moment, right? So openness for joy and happiness. A new earth, that's beautiful, right? New consciousness, a new earth. Ace of Swords, that's the new consciousness. And the new consciousness came about to realizing that hyper-independence, and I have to do it all by myself, is not very joyful. And you're getting the reward for learning this lesson and realizing that lesson that, okay, I got all that and I worked so hard for it and I fought so hard for it, but something is missing. What is that? Joy and happiness. And joy and happiness doesn't mean that you're that little puppy who trusts everybody, right? It's not. There's a reason why you became hyper vigilant and maybe hyper independent. Maybe I get this quote. Yeah, 2 came out. Never argue with a fool, right? You don't owe anybody an explanation. The moment you feel like you have to prove your worth to someone is the moment you walk away. Right? And one more. People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Maybe you became hyper independent because you have been hurt. You try to protect your feelings, you try to hide your passion. So you're kind of, that emperor, and you were kind of super successful in it in a way, but now it's time to open up again and let joy and happiness into your life. And joy and happiness also means other people. Also means other people. Never argue with a fool. The moment you feel like you have to prove your worth to someone is the moment you walk away. And people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So that emperor on top of the mountain, where nothing grows, where everything is just stone, no flower, no tree, no nothing. Isolation, hyper-independence. Maybe there were narcissistic abuse, maybe there was some sort of BS going on in your relationships. Isolation is not the answer. People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you, so that means you need healthy boundaries. But healthy boundaries doesn't mean that you reject everything and everyone in the outside world. That is emperor energy, and you're cracking that emperor energy open. You owe it to yourself. You deserve happiness and joy. I say it again and again. And it's a new earth. It's a new consciousness. The old consciousness is, leaving, and it's getting weaker every second of the day. These old negative, low frequency vibrations that were kind of haunting us in the past are getting weaker. And don't just be like a naive puppy who trusts everybody. But if you have healthy boundaries, if you can say no, if you can leave, if you feel like leaving, if just healthy boundaries, you can actually risk opening up to people again. That doesn't mean that joy and happiness and passion and all these wonderful stuff that is kind of a little missing is only coming to people, but a life without people in total isolation, it's not a happy life, right? Sorry, I ate a lot. And I'm burping a little. Sorry. But healthy boundaries. Never argue with a fool. The moment you feel like you have to prove your worth to someone is the moment you walk away. People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Healthy boundaries, self-worth, self-love. Self-love. Being in control of your passion, not getting carried away with your passion, not getting carried away with your joy, always carried by self-love, self-respect, healthy boundaries. And then you can actually take that fourth cup that is offered to you in the position of the outside world here. So friendship, acquaintances, new people. Not all people are narcissistic psychopaths, even if you met a few in your life. Right? And I think we all met a few in our lives lately. But narcissistic psychopath season seems to come to an end, and we're all very happy about it. We need healthy boundaries. We need to be smart about it. There's the King of Swords to joy, happiness needs to come back. And that's part of the healing, that's part of the new earth. Don't be naive about it, be smart about it. But let love and joy and happiness and passion back into your life. That's all I got. Now I would die. I hope you liked it. If you did, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much for that. See you soon. Ciao.